I have an organization called Creative Culture Tribe where we teach Black and Brown women creators and entrepreneurs the business of creativity in Miami and globally, because you know your girl is global. And it's just really exciting work. It started in Miami, where I'm from, born and raised, native
305.
Miamian. Yes, and the goal was to just create more spaces for Black women in a very disjointed creator ecosystem. But my goal is to change that.
Yo, it's Moneybag Rich, and we are back again with another episode of Attractive Mindset. And first and foremost, before anything, happy birthday, Don P. We're wearing F&D shirt. Shout out to you, boss man, BB Sundays. If you don't know, he's one of the three of the Big Three Alliance. And so happy birthday, big shout outs to you. But today's guest, this young woman, this entrepreneur, this savant, this creator, this mastermind has created just so many different spaces. The vibe unmatched. We definitely just met, and it's felt like we've had a partnership in just friendship and just vibes and just everything. We had a whole 2-hour conversation before the interview even started, and so it's like, man, we didn't even get to the interview. Cameras weren't rolling or anything. But long intro, I'm gonna let her tell you a little bit more about herself, Miss Makisha Noel.
Ooh, thank you for that intro. I'm shook. No, seriously, we were literally talking for close to 2 hours. I'm just like, okay, what we doing? What's going on? But I'm so blessed to be here having this conversation with you, and just kind of digging into what it looks like to have an attractive mindset. My name is Makisha Noel. I am a media personality, creator, and global marketing strategist. I have an organization called Creative Culture Tribe where we teach Black and Brown women creators and entrepreneurs the business of creativity in Miami and globally, because you know your girl is global. And it's just really exciting work. It started in Miami, where I'm from, born and raised, native Miamian.
305.
Yes, and the goal was to just create more spaces for Black women in a very disjointed creator ecosystem. But my goal is to change that. And so yeah, I'm also the host of my own podcast, On the Move with Maki, where I have conversations with your favorite creators, movers and shakers, and entrepreneurs, men and women. And it's been really great. So I'm not going to list
Absolutely.
all the things. We're not going to do that. We talked about all the things.
We did.
But that's what
But,
we're going to do.
just even what you did talk about, the Creative Culture Tribe.
Yes, that's correct.
Going into that, I definitely do want to dive into that. But, at Attractive Mindset, we like to learn about the individual. And so please, Maki, tell us about you, growing up in Miami.
Ooh, growing up in Miami. Ooh, a tragedy. No, I'm playing. What was my life like growing up? I grew up in, I can say, a happy home. I grew up in a happy home. I grew up in a 2-parent household, which I believe just also contributes to who I am today. I have amazing parents. Well, now my father did pass away from cancer, liver cancer, in November of 2022, and it's been a challenge ever since. But people like to say I'm like their personal hype woman, and I think it's because my dad was like my personal hype man. Like literally whatever was hurting me, Jesus. Literally whatever I did well, I'm telling you, I cooked a steak dinner for my family. Whoa, Maki, you need to open that steak restaurant one. Wow, you're so good at this. I remember one time there was a period of my life where I would tell my parents like, yo, y'all are acting like roommates right now. Aren't y'all husband and wife? Like, do something different, And so I remember my dad, just really taking heed to things I would say, like, wow, you need to consider being a marriage and family therapist. And I'm like, Daddy, come on, let's relax. I'm very clear on what I want to do with my life at this point, And so he was just my biggest cheerleader. And I also like to say that my parents were very non-traditional Haitian parents. Like, I also am the only girl. I have 3 brothers. And so like, the tradition is that like the girl is like more quiet, or, she don't stay out late. Like she not in these streets. But
Maki was outside.
When I became an adult, yes, I was outside enjoying my life, because life is about enjoyment. But my parents were very I don't know, they were so let me just say because wow, so unorthodox, and at a young age they showed me that they trusted me, and I think that's why I've learned to have trust in myself and to take risks and to like be like, even while I'm afraid, to still like make a leap into things I want to do. So anyway, I feel like I had a good upbringing. Like people used to say, like y'all grew up in a Disney Channel home, and like is not all peaches and cream, but I can say like that's where I came from, and I think that's why, in part, why I'm able to like give so much love is because I come from love. So I'm gonna leave it right there, child, because
Oh,
I
I'm
told
gonna
you I have
dive
a
right
golf
back
lesson.
in. Yeah, you do,
But this
but
episode is not gonna be 20 minutes. No, no.
but I want to dive in. I want to dive in deeper because that's a part of you. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
like discovering the human behind the brand is so
Mhm.
important for people to understand. Like we are not our brands. You're a whole individual on this planet we call Earth, and your story may mean a lot to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And so we can always come back for the business and everything, but this is really that stage to set. Like, hey, I bleed like you bleed. I cry like you cry. I feel like you feel. And so, in you growing up in that type of environment, in that type of household, you know, coming into Miami, being in that Miami culture, where do you think you really got that extra drive from?
Oh, I mean that's a good question because I don't know. It's crazy. I like as we were talking about, like I think a lot of it is my parents, because Miami can be fast paced for the things that are fast paced, like the nightlife, the cars, the drugs and all that, and like that's a culture that I never tapped into growing up. I just don't do it. I just well, it's not that I don't do that, but it's like I'm not living that fast Miami life that people see in movies and on TV and whatnot. Um, but in different ways, Miami is very slow moving, catches on to the trends and the waves very late. And it's a very huge Caribbean island culture here too. I think that's what contributes to the slowness of it all. Um, but that's why I think like my level of ambition, I really believe it came from my parents. I'm really trying to think about, like, yes, it came from me too. But I'm just thinking back to how like even my father, he used to have a video recorder. And so he recorded him and my mom, or maybe I think for one of the videos, maybe they had it on a tripod or something. But my dad, he was speaking in Creole, and he was probably like 30, and he was talking. He was like, and in Creole, he was saying this. He was like, I created this video so that when my kids get older, they'll know who their parents were, like they'll know where they came from, and like we don't come from much, but we think it's important to, I don't remember everything word by word, and it's also in Creole. So like it needs to be translated. But he's literally, and this is my dad with a camcorder in the 90s, bro. Like
Documenting.
so powerful. Yes. I'm like, this is the original content creator. Like,
Facts.
what's up? And so to see that video after he passed, I'm just, and can you let me know if I'm screaming? Because I'm not screaming.
No.
Okay, just making sure. Because I just get really passionate. But like, yeah, to see something like that, I'm just like, okay. I feel like my dad at 30 is like also who I am now, but just like obviously a lot more education, a lot different possibilities, because my dad didn't have a lot of education. But his father was entrepreneurial. He ran a bakery at a certain age in Haiti, like, yeah.
So this is what I want to do, since that's what your dad did at 30. You're also 30 now, and unfortunately he's no longer here with us, but I want you to say something to the camera on what you would say to your dad now about the path that you've taken.
Let me cry. Damn. I would say, geez, you will be on the spot. I would say, Dazi, I know that you would be proud of me. because one thing you taught me even while I was when I was more when I thought corporate America had something to give, you always pushed me to still work on my business, and that's what he would be like. He was like, Maki, work on, like, build your business. That is the thing that's going to be sustaining. And although he never necessarily had sustaining businesses that lasted years and years and years, and he didn't come from wealth at all, he still pushed me to do those things because he knew that that's a path to success, which is entrepreneurship. So but yeah, I would say, like, you would be proud of me. You would be very, very proud of me in the moves I'm making. So yeah, okay, that's it.
Absolutely no, but it's just a document for you is also, just to have that, so you can also look back in time like, hey, I really, I said this, I had this conversation. Those videos, pictures, they last forever. No matter what we do in life, and so that's always something that you'll have as a part of you. But it sounds like he was definitely on a big level of entrepreneurship, which is really, really good, because a lot of parents, and especially not Haitian parents, they don't really tap into that side. And so them not tapping into that side, they do usually take the more traditional route of go be a doctor, go be a lawyer, go be a nurse, go be this and that.
Yeah.
But that support system, and look at you, you are an example of that. And so, I've never met your parents before, and I am grateful already, because the embodiment of you and what you are, of course, you got your own factor into that, but you're usually led by great leaders, and those are the only two people that you've brought up so far. And so, definitely a clap to them. And just Maki growing up. Okay, cool. So what was your first interaction with your level of entrepreneurship?
Oh, I mean, easy one, probably when I sold chips in high school, or was it middle school too? Like, my mom, she bought just a whole bunch of candy from Save a Lot probably, or Costco, and like she would send us to school with those things and we would sell them. And at the time it felt normal, because I think like there's a huge entrepreneurship culture within Haitian culture, because what they say is "Ma pal fait commerce," so I'm gonna go do commerce. And so that's where they go to, like, the flea markets, like, in the streets. Have you been to Haiti before?
Yeah.
Okay, so like
No, well, Little Haiti, right?
Oh no, Haiti.
No, I haven't been to Haiti.
Yeah, and like that's a normal thing to like be going down the street and just seeing everybody selling something on the streets. And so that was normal for us. So yeah, selling chips and candy. Although I would like eat them too. Who doesn't? I'm a kid.
Facts.
And then also selling the chocolates, the chocolate bar, world's finest chocolates. That they used to get everybody with that one. So like that's like another thing that I used to sell in school. But yeah, that was my first taste. That was my first taste.
And then like, what about the real one where it's like, I created something that other people want to be a part of?
I mean, I've created different things I want to be a part of. People want to be a part of, but I would say like what like I actually made money from was when I actually left Miami and moved to DC. And in DC is when I really found that creator within me, or that the creator in me was validated. And so I took this course, Danielle Leslie's course. I'm not sure if you heard of her, but pretty much packaging your expertise and creating a course and selling that.
Okay.
And so that's what I did. And so I had a few clients as a brand strategist and a brand coach. But I just got really tired of it. I got tired of like running things by myself and just being a one-woman team and working in a silo. Because it was, even in DC, it was, obviously DC is known for like politics and government, but DC is also known to be like a creative capital too.
You know Fred from Afro Code?
Do I know Fred?
DJ Sam I Am, DJ Lights Out.
No, he's from DC.
Yeah, they're big in DC.
I need to check them out.
And I know you like Afro beats.
I sure do.
Yeah, Afro Code is that's, I believe it started from out there, and now they're in like 5 different states. They got New York. We just opened Texas, Atlanta, here, and DC.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean I might be able to check it out because I'm speaking at it. Well, not speaking. I'm hosting an event in DC in September.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh yeah,
hopefully
definitely.
that was a good time.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Oh, okay, okay.
So yeah, when I was a brand coach, I would say that was like my first real taste of like, whoa, I can make money by myself. Or like I don't need to work for a company to make money.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and so how did you end up at the place of what you're most passionate about now? What you introduced to yourself in the introduction, your tribe.
How wait, say that again? How was I?
You know, how'd you end up there?
Oh, I mean, because I was searching. I didn't feel like Miami really had a lot of spaces to accelerate people like me, or a lot of spaces for me to have a launching pad to really grow something. And so like I was saying before we even started recording on our 2 hour conversation, is that last night I went through my emails from 2016, 2017, and I was just reaching out to people. Hey, I'm building this creative community. And it's still like honestly hurts me even right now. And I guess I realized like, maybe I didn't maybe I'm still kind of like working through that internally. But like I remember reaching out to people like, hey, I'm building this community of women. You know, we're passionate about this thing. I'd love to collaborate. Who, what? 22, 23 years old when being a creator was not a thing.
Yeah.
It was just not like, yes, people were creating content as we call it now on social, but yeah, it just was never really official. And so people don't really know what I was trying to do. So I did end up having a brunch in October 2017, and that was about like 8 women across different industries. And so I realized like maybe that needs to be my angle, just say impacting women in business, tech, fashion, beauty, and all the things, and like have that brunch, and like that would be the way to start building the community. But I actually wanted to build a community of creatives at the time, but that didn't really exist. Who was a creator in 2017 in Miami?
True.
Nobody. I mean, they're probably there. I just probably didn't know them.
So if you had this idea back then and there weren't really any creators, what even sparked that idea?
What was it? I think I was just drawn to storytelling. Even when I was in middle school, I used to be a huge reader. Oh my gosh, I used to read so much. Like to the point where there was like a competition after school, and they were like, we need to choose someone to like be the reader or to read this book or whatever. And everybody turned in and looked at me because I love to read.
You still read now a lot?
I'm not gonna hold you. I don't read as much as I did when I was younger.
Okay.
But I still do read, yes, like nonfiction books. I do enjoy them. I do, of course, enjoy The Atomic Habits. I read You Can't Hurt Me, but David Goggins. I read that. I read Professional Troublemaker by Lovey Ajayi.
I feel like those all, sum up kind of what I see as your personality so far.
Really? Yeah. So but then I also really like the nonfiction books because I like to be taken into this other world, and I like to read stories about people who are kind of dealing with the similar things that I'm dealing with. So yeah, it's like the one book I'm reading now is you made a fool out of death with your beauty. And I don't remember who the author is, but it's so good. Like,
it sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's about 2 Black women. Anyway, I'm not gonna dive all into it, but it's interesting because like, they're artists, they're creatives, and so they're just doing their thing in New York City, and it's just inspiring to read. But yeah, but I used to read a lot. I used to write a lot. I used to write stories. Man, I remember I wrote a story about a Black family that moved to like this rural area in like Arizona. And I was probably like in middle school when I wrote that. And I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, people are not actually gonna care about this. And I remember like pouring Clorox. Why was I so extreme? Pouring Clorox on a notebook. No one's going to read this.
Oh, wow. that's a completely left kind of thing.
Yo,
okay.
But I was dealing with a lot. Like I was dark skinned, I was fat, I had a gap, I had a chip tooth. Like I was considered ugly. I was considered ugly, and so I created worlds for myself.
And that was even in Miami?
Yeah, well, I lived in Miami my whole life, with
Wow.
the exception of when I went to UCF for 3 years, and
Mm,
then I moved to DC for close to 3 years.
mm,
But like I've traveled everywhere, countless places.
mm,
Um, so, and I do feel like traveling is a core part of who I am too. I love it, but yeah. So like I just like to create these worlds for myself because I didn't get like a whole lot of. I didn't get the attention that I wanted to get.
mm.
And so like I'd write the stories, but then also like I would be funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, okay, if the boys don't like me, I'll just be funny and I'll make people laugh,
Mm,
you know. And so I've always also considered myself an entertainer and a performer. Like I used to love performing in our choirs. Like
mm,
in elementary school, we did like a Disney production. And so as part of the production, we had the Beauty and the Beast, and so I played the Beast. Like they literally ordered the head and everything,
mm,
and the whole costume, and I played the Beast. And my friend was the one that played the Beauty, and so I remember like I learned the choreography and all that. But the next day, everybody was roasting me because they recognized my boots. I used to wear those boots
mm.
every day, the black boots. Everybody recognized it, and I just started getting flamed.
Mm,
And like I really was like, part of me didn't care because I was like, I learned this choreography and was on this stage and was on my shit. What were
mm.
you doing? You
Facts.
know
And
what I
so,
mean?
do you feel like that was a coping mechanism for you? Because do you feel like you would have been that same kind of individual that was willing to do the comedy and play the back,
Hmm.
front, if you had got the attention that you wanted?
That's a good question. I don't know. Because if the boys were liking me in elementary school,
Mm,
I don't know. I probably would have been like this. I don't know. I don't want to like try to speculate on who I would have been,
mm.
but I definitely think like, I don't know. It's a good question. Wow, I got to think about that and then get back to you.
Fair
Like,
enough. Fair enough. Okay. So,
mhm.
developing into the person that you are now, are you glad that it happened that way at least?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Mm,
I don't know how person we're getting, but I don't think it affected me in different parts in life. Like,
mhm.
you know, yeah, I think it affected me in different parts in life.
Okay. Because, I mean, you definitely do seem like a more, I don't want to say bundle of joy, but you definitely bring, in my opinion, I haven't known you that long, but you bring a certain light with you. And in
Hmm.
that light, there can be two different things because Robin Williams was also a comedy, a
Yeah, yeah,
comedian, but he
yeah.
committed suicide,
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
that's not me. I'm not
Okay.
suicidal.
Okay. Well,
I'm not
yeah.
one of those people who are. I'm not one of the people who have like all this joy and all this energy, all this
Mhm.
showing up
And then
because
dealing
I'm
with
actually
stuff.
sad.
Okay.
I'm not actually sad.
Okay.
I'm not like, this is genuinely me.
Okay.
So, and I also attribute it to like, I'm also a Christian,
Mm,
and like one of my favorite verses just growing up was, the joy of the Lord is my strength.
mm,
And so like that just always stuck with me. Like I have joy no matter what. I have joy no matter what. And it's not like to be like positive talk, what is it they say? Positive positivity. I don't know how to describe it.
mm,
But I'm not like I'm positive all the time because I don't want to be sad. Like, no, I address my feelings.
mm,
If I'm upset about something, if I'm sad about something, we gonna have a conversation.
mm.
Like, and I'm gonna have a conversation with myself because I've learned to self-regulate. Like I've learned to be in tune with who I am because of therapy.
Mm.
A commercial for, I'm not doing a commercial for BetterHelp. They doing, but I recommend therapy.
Mm.
And like therapy really helped me to like connect with myself, to be emotionally available with myself.
At what point did you start that?
2021.
Okay.
Yeah, like over time I've had people to talk to, but officially in therapy, unpacking and really getting clear on like, wow, that's the reason why I make those decisions.
Mm.
That's the reason why I stay in these places that I don't need to be staying in.
And how'd you end up in there?
So why did I take therapy? I think I was stressed at work.
And this was corporate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it so happened that I scheduled a therapy session, and my uncle passed away suddenly a
Mm.
week before that therapy session. So I literally was starting therapy around like for, because I was grieving. First person in my life that I lost that I had, that closeness to. Um Yeah, and it was sudden. Like I literally grew up with him. He moved to the States when I was like 3, so I've known him my whole life.
Mm.
And then my father passed away the next year, and I'm just like, yo, what is going on, Jesus? Um, yeah,
And you're still in therapy now.
no, because I had like 12 sessions that were covered by insurance.
Gotcha.
I would love. Oh my gosh, I would love to go back to therapy. Oh, I would love it. But
And
I gotta
the
forget.
therapist was
Yes.
okay.
She was this.
Okay.
She was this. And you just learn so much about yourself. Like you confront your bullshit. Like, man. Anyway, but I think I've come a very long way. And I used to be one of those people that didn't feel like I needed therapy. So I was like, oh, if I have issues, I'll just figure it out. I'm smart. I can ask for advice. I'm good. But I realized, like, no, therapy is a banger. Another banger. That's what the session, every single session.
So, when I visited your Instagram page, like, I wasn't sure of what you did, but I did know that you were everywhere.
Damn. Daniel's like, I feel the same way. Hold on, give me a little bit of credit. You see the bullet points on there? Host.
Yeah, but like,
very disgusting. This is nasty. This is nasty.
I'm like, what's like the meat and potatoes, like they say, what's the
meat and potatoes, man.
What would you say you like do?
That's the thing. It's literally multifaceted.
It's just everything.
I'm not one thing. I wish I could give you that, but I'm not one thing. Like literally, I am a media person. I'm a host and a media personality. I moderate panels. I'm a speaker. Like you can tell. Like I love to speak. I love to guide. I mean, I'm not guiding this conversation, but I love to guide conversations and have that storytelling aspect. I'm also a strategist. I can't tell you I'm one over the other. Like I love strategy. Like I'm doing strategy for Nike now, and I love it. I mean, freelancing is enjoyable.
You keep adding that in front, but Nike is
That's
Nike.
True. That's true. And then also it's global work. It's Asian Pacific and Latin America. So it's like it's just a range because in strategy I focus on global audiences, and in community building I focus on Black and Brown audiences. And then everybody else for hosting maybe, but like my work spans all of them. I'm truly like my dad used to say I remember when I wanted to buy a car, he was like, Maki, you do not need a car, you need a plane. Like he would make fun of me like, nah, you need to buy a plane, sis. Like I'm just a global cat. Like this year alone, we're in August. This year alone, I was in Haiti, in Bali, in Mexico. Bali. Yes. Let me tell you
money. She got money.
Don't be telling them that, because they gonna ask me. My bank account go But yo, Bali.
That's one of my places I want to go.
Go.
I went on my first vacation ever this year.
Where'd you go?
Mexico.
Which part of Mexico?
Tulum.
Wow. For the first time?
For the first time. And, my girlfriend, I told her, I said, hey, I don't want to be around people. I said, I don't want to go to a resort or anything. And so the spot that she picked out and found and everything was just like this nice thing, pool on the roof, infinity pool, all that stuff. And it was just vibes. There was no one there. And it was just, it was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
First vacation ever.
Yes. I don't know why it's the first vacation ever, but I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It was good.
I'm glad you. And so where are you trying to go next?
Next, I don't know. I am going to Vegas in October, but I don't. Do you consider vacation in the States?
Yes.
Okay. So
I
then that's the next
personally,
vacation.
I don't really fool with Las Vegas. I've never been to Las Vegas. I have zero interest in going there.
What? Really?
But yes, people say it's fun, but I don't care for Las Vegas at all.
I feel like you would low key like it though. I feel like you would low key like it. Like I haven't been in a while, but when I was stationed in California, we went there like 3 times or 4 times, and it was always just a vibe. Of course, you don't want to overstay there because it's small, but it was a vibe. I feel like you would like it, honestly. Just do like 2 days.
If I get flued out, then yes.
Yeah, just do like 2 days.
Flued out. If I have a gig there, sure, but I would not spend my money on a flight to Vegas.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
I want to go to
I'm
Bali.
not interested.
So Bali, I guess, would be my next, not next. I don't know if it'll be next, but Bali's definitely where I want to go.
Yeah, Bali. Oh, Rich. Bali is everything.
Did you stay in the hut that's like on the water?
No, I think that's like the Maldives. I mean, I think that's anywhere, but I did not see that in Bali. But I also didn't go for like super luxurious experiences.
Okay.
Some luxurious, but not super luxurious. Like we stayed in 2 luxurious villas and beautiful. But I also stayed in Airbnbs. So I went to Bali for my best friend's 30th birthday. And so we were supposed to be there for a week. While I was there, I was like, I actually want to stay here longer. So the day of my flight, when I was supposed to come back, I canceled my flight. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to stay out here. And so I stayed there a week longer than I planned to. And I like rebooked the flight. But it was just incredible because the Balinese really appreciate tourists, obviously because of our money. But like,
I would have butchered that Balinese. That was not going to be my first name for them. Balinese.
Indonesians.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Balinese.
But the Balinese, they really I don't know, they love us. Like I walk into the salons, pay $30 for a massage.
Wow.
$30 for a foot reflexology.
Sheesh.
Like, how are you? Do you need anything? Like when I walk into restaurants, like seemed like the host or the general manager of the restaurant would come up to me like, wow, you're so beautiful. Can I get you seated? I was like,
is the language barrier good or?
So the Balinese speak English.
Okay.
Most of them do because of tourism.
Got it.
Yeah. But they're very very accommodating. Like I remember because obviously I was there for a period of time. I needed to get my clothes washed. So I asked the host like, hey, do y'all have laundry services? Oh, yes, absolutely. And we can have it back to you today. And I'm like, oh, okay. You can literally WhatsApp restaurants on WhatsApp. You can talk to get information on WhatsApp fast, easy. The transportation, well, I'm about to be the ambassador of Bali. Like, look, so like our version here is Uber and Lyft, but in Bali is Gojek and Grab. And so it's so cheap, which I don't love, right? Because that means are they actually making a living wage?
But to rebuttal that also, is America just overcharging?
Yes. 100%. 100%.
Because we do, and when I went over there, I did have this conversation to Mexico because I'm like, man, unless you're in Cancun or Tulum, the outer city stuff, it's run down. The communities are not doing well. And I'm like, man, you have this one community that's built up and everything around it is not. And I'm like, man, they're not, the wealth out here is not doing as well. But then they said, it's doing about common. It's just not being spread as well. And, even with the pricing of certain things, we're just so used to paying so much that we go over there and it's what our minds are programmed to. And so it's like, this is cheap. But for them, it's, because I mean, I'm a little, conspiracy kind of theorist person, but we can go way back, even deeper and be like, well, why are we paying for anything in life anyway? God put us on this earth without none of that.
Oh, but that's a long time ago, though. That's going to be a tough argument.
Yeah, but listen, how did we get here? You know what I'm saying? How did we scale to the point where things which used to be traded for a barter, and it was actually shells, they're actually shells that they used to trade back and forth. It wasn't a form of currency. And that's, just to keep people on their bets or something. Then it turned into currency, you know what I'm saying? And then look at where currency is now. And then you got 10 people in this world that are in control of 95% of the money.
Yeah. That escalated quickly. And I hear you. But I definitely do think that things are overpriced in the United States, especially in Miami. So it was just such a huge difference being in Bali where I would take a motorcycle somewhere 30 minutes down the road. I checked my account. I was charged 68 cents.
You driving the motorcycle?
No. I was on the back of a motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
68 cents. $1.24.
Wow.
To get to my destination.
Yeah, that's.
While I was there, I also took a surfing class for the first time. Oh my God.
Did you wipe out?
I mean, I was effing up most of the time. Most of the time. But it was such a life-changing experience. Like, you know, to take the the motorcycle ride there, so they pick you up from your place and they drive you to the beach where they do the surfing lesson. I think in total, it was like $16.
Wow.
And the lesson was like 2-3 hours.
I did hear things over there are pretty cheap, but that flight.
Oh, yeah. It's the flight that's going to get you.
That flight. Why is the flight so crazy if over there is cheap?
I mean, I just think that's how the world works. I don't know all the
logistics.
Yeah, the logistics and the mechanics of like why flights are priced the way that they're priced. I really don't know. But it's the flight that will get you.
So what I did find out it wasn't going to Mexico. It was when I went to go see Cody. Something had happened and I looked up like the breakdown of the actual prices for like flights and stuff. And the flight itself is like $7, or like $10, $19. What we pay for is security, the airport, the fees, all that stuff. And I'm like, how is this legal? Like, we're not even paying for the flight. And so that gives me a whole different like perspective, because it's like we're paying their taxes and we're paying whatever. And so whoever owns these things is just damn near taking profit.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's real. But I definitely think the flight price is worth it. It is worth it. And it was also a tussle. It was a tussle for me to get there. Because American Airlines was on some Make sure you bleep that out because my mom might see this. I don't know. And I'll be cussing on my page like that sometimes. But you know what I mean? But American Airlines was on some shit. Some hot shit. And so like I
over here in the airport or over there?
To get over there, yeah. So it was such a tussle, my God. But then actually getting there, going to the waterfalls, and there's also a huge expat community there, a whole bunch of Black folks. So there's a group called Black in Bali.
Wow.
So whenever Black folks are coming to Bali, you make sure you join that WhatsApp group.
Wow.
You got community.
Black in Bali. That sounds amazing. And so would you ever leave the United States? Okay.
Yes.
Where would you go?
Absolutely. So Bali. I would move to Bali. I would also consider Portugal. Okay. Because I hear Portugal has a very good expat community. The cost of living is not so bad. I think even something about healthcare. I'm still doing research. But yeah, if I were to leave the country, it would be Bali or it would be Portugal. But I need to visit Portugal first to see if I would like that. Yeah. And maybe France, but that's not really only because of like this like romance about France. But nah, for me, it's about like enjoying my life and just like, I just felt like I could actually relax. Anyway, I'm going to talk about Bali way too much. But yeah.
So with what you do, would you rather $1 million in cash up front or $5,000 a week until you hit $3 million?
$5,000 a week until I hit $3 million.
Why?
So I think receiving, and this for me personally, I'm not talking about generally, I think receiving a huge lump sum up front, it would be a lot. I will, I'll be transparent. Like, I have not achieved $1 million in my work and in my business. I have not achieved $1 million yet. $1 million for me at this stage in life would be huge for me. But I think it's important to have the right mindset when you do accumulate that level of money, because I'm sure you heard like when people win the lottery, they end up blowing it all within a short period of time.
Worse off than they started.
Right. Like so much money you don't know what to do with. And so I think receiving although I can just kind of, I can receive it and like maybe have a financial advisor, you know, just to get clear on how to spend it. I think like things in moderation is important. And so being able to, you know, receive things in moderation and kind of go on this journey will help me to appreciate it more.
So what would you do with that in your business? What would be your first steps?
Oh my gosh, my first steps. So definitely will be hiring a team because the girl's tired. It will definitely be investing in a team and an assistant, which I have like a VA right now, but she's like all the way in India and like, but you know, hiring the right people on the team so that I can focus on the not so sexy things. I'm someone that's very much so like, oh, when it comes to content, I love it. I'm writing, you know, the captions. I'm, you know, choosing the content. I'm writing the emails, which I still have to send an email today, Lord. You know, like hosting the IG lives, like all the things that to me as a creative are fun. But I realized my challenge, which is what kind of stunted my growth when I first started, was because I was doing every single thing. And then I also was mainly focusing on the sexy things as opposed to the foundational things that are going to keep the business good. So like now I'm actually like, oh, let me trademark this. Let me make sure my brand is actually legally protected. You know, let me make sure I have the right systems in place. And that's not sexy to me. It's not. But it's important.
That's pretty sexy.
And nobody else going to. Oh, I mean, sexy to you.
I mean, a protected business, that sounds pretty sexy.
That's true.
That's pretty sexy to me.
Like, ooh,
it's like a nice suit. Like,
okay,
ooh, you got cleared, you protected.
Okay. Facts. Yeah, so, you know, that's kind of the process I'm going through now. And I do have some solid people in place for like what I'm doing with the business. My designers, my social media person, and an assistant. But I need some writers. I need some writers that, you know, they can focus on like, you know, just the writing across the website and all that. And so I can have more time to focus on the foundationals.
Gotcha. Okay. And so are you looking for like sponsors or brand deals or anything like that?
I 100% am.
And so what would a deal like that look like for you? Like what would you be looking for exactly?
Yeah. So a couple of things. I am positioning Creative Culture Tribe to have partners when it comes to our digital programming. I'm gonna give you an example, very specific example. Right now, I'm in the process of helping my friends build their websites on Squarespace specifically, and that's because that's where I have my website. I put my reps in with WordPress and Squarespace a long time ago, and I just decided Squarespace makes the most sense for me. But I realized that although I enjoy helping people, I don't know if some of the things I help with are the best use of my time.
Got it.
I hope my friend don't see this though, girl. I'm enjoying helping you build your landing page. I really am. I love you. I can't wait for it to come out. Happy birthday.
Gotta put that disclaimer out there.
Like Liz, it's cool. But you know, now I have my sister, who I was like, we were raised together. Like she's not my blood sister. But, you know, I'm about to help her build her artist because she's her website because she's a visual artist.
Is this what you went to school for?
No, I went to school for business.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm a creative. Like I taught myself, like this is how I told you, when you go on my Instagram and you see those clips from my podcast, that is me. The host, the person that books it, the designer, the person that chooses the music, the sound, literally all of it is me. And so I just taught myself those things. So I'm like, okay. If I'm recommending Squarespace as a website for people to use to, you know, to build their businesses and to have this cohesive branding, I'm not trying to sit here and sit here and teach y'all how to build a website every day, every other week, do a workshop. I can't be the person. I want to work with Squarespace to bring in people to teach that, and then also to offer incentives for those who are building their businesses, you know, and need to scale what they're doing, because the people at Squarespace are the experts. And so the reason why I have that energy is because I reached out to them and why didn't they respond to me? You know, and so like I want to incorporate that type of digital programming. I have a call with Google tomorrow, the Grow with Google digital coach, because they have that in almost every city. but I also have friends that work at Google too, so we're talking about some things. But like the Grow with Google coach, I want to bring him in for programming so that he can be the one that teaches, our community on how to best promote their business on Google and all the things that come with it. Makisha Noel can't sit there and teach all that. I can teach about brand strategy. I can teach about brand coaching, but I don't want to do it. It's not the best use of my time. If I'm going to do any kind of strategy, like on official, like it's taking me 20, 30 hours, whatever, it's because you got me a good check coming. That's the thing. When I first started this whole process, like the individuals that I work with did not have huge budgets. And then I would receive advice like, no, Makisha, you need to be charging 10, 15K for this. I'm sitting here charging $2,000 for all that I was offering. And so it just really burnt me out.
And that was for like the life of the client?
Yeah, well, for like I think like a 6-month period or something. Okay. Yeah. In total. Damn. Not $2,000 a month, $2,000 in total. Okay. Yeah. And so like now the reason why when Nike came knocking on my door, I said yes because I gave them my price. There was no argument. And so, you know what I'm saying? And so that is where I'm going to use my social strategy, my brand strategy, my cultural strategy. I'm going to use that for like the clients that got to right, but for individuals, I'd rather be like, yo, all right, let's talk about this. Okay, cool. I'll give you my perspective. I'll do all this, but I'm not going to do no intricate plan for you, sis, because
yeah, no, I feel
time
that.
is money.
I feel that. And so do you feel guilty of that sometimes? And
no.
Maybe guilty is not the word, but wait, hold on. So
my answer is no.
The guilty of it comes from, because it almost seems in a way, contradicting to you have something where you're calling it the creative culture tribe.
Damn, you trying to call me out?
Hold on. I'm not calling you out.
Dan is like, hold on.
But I'm saying you have
something. Pause the recording. Jesus. I'm going to let you finish.
You have something called the creative culture tribe where you say you're trying to build these things up and everything, but you're like, I'm not doing that.
Okay, so let me make sure, because maybe it was misunderstood. It's not that I'm not going to sit here and like help people build out a strategy. I need to be conscious about what's the best use of my time right now, because if time is money, and like just how we discussed earlier, like not everything's about money, but the reality is I would like to bring in the resources so that the people who have the time and the resources can teach you how to do these things. And my goal and what I do very well is build community. I'm a mobilizer of people. I will hype you up. I will let you know that I see you. And that will push you to do the things that you want to and need to do for yourself and for your business and for your purpose. I do that really well, and so I want to focus on what I do well, which still is strategy, but like I think the best use of my time is pulling in the right resources, because I'm only one person.
So then wouldn't you want to switch to like hire people to pull in the resources while you focus on building community?
Oh yeah. That's a good thought. I'm just not there yet.
Okay.
Like right now I'm the one building the relationships with the sponsors. Like I'm the one having the conversations with them.
But if you had somebody to do that, you would prefer to build a community.
Yes. Yeah. And that community building would look like, having the events, would look like, kind of inspiring people and, keeping them motivated. But right now I'm doing the motivation and like teaching the strategy, and then also helping them to build out the site, and then also doing all the hard skills that are required to build a business. But I kind of want to focus on soft skills, and not to say like soft life, but like I would like to focus on the soft skills. But right now I'm doing both.
Gotcha.
Which is what it is.
Okay. I mean, no, that's definitely good. I feel like I want to take this conversation past like an hour, and it's almost there.
It been, how long has it been?
This is like 40 minutes. 49 minutes.
Oh,
you see it? So that's
bon Dieu. But I also do need to go to this
class. I know, but it's okay, because guess what? We're here. We're not going anywhere. So that means y'all are gonna get a part 2.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And in the part 2, I want to go in on these events and really schedule out what you have planned for the rest of 2023 and going into 2024, because now you're in a room with Moneybag Rich. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a mover and a shaker, and I know you definitely have your ideas, but I also have mine, and I want to execute. So
I can share a little bit really quick now, because when is this episode coming out?
It might be a little bit.
Okay.
There's a queue.
Okay, because I have an event in October.
And it'll be out before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The end of October, y'all. And I'll look directly at the camera. Ladies, tap in with me. Come here. Can the camera zoom in a little bit? And if it can't, that's okay. He's like, Derek can't zoom in. For the ladies who live in Miami, I have something really special for you. We are partnering with West Elm South Beach to create an experience for you. If you are a content creator, a business owner, if you're someone that is a mover and shaker, but also still rising up, rise up, reach back is what we do.
Is that your brand?
Sorry. No, it's not actually.
Oh, no, that hyped me for a second. That was a good plug.
Right, but no, it's Ad Color. Ad Color is an organization dedicated to diverse professionals in marketing and advertising. And so last year I was in Ad Color Future. I was in 2022 Ad Color Future. So it's kind of similar to think like Forbes 30 under 30, but within marketing and within the diversity space. So
I like
that. Yeah. And this year I'm a 2023 Legacy 40 under 40. Legacy Miami 40 under 40. Thank you. Yes. I feel very honored. I literally called Dexter Bridgman, who's the founder of Legacy Magazine and Miami Media Group, which will also be a good contact for you as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he dominates media in Florida. And so he also has a show on CW. Not him literally being on the show, but he runs the whole media empire.
That's fire.
Yeah, I should also probably get him on my podcast now.
That's think about fire. It. Wow.
But yeah. So that's really cool. But yeah, I really want to connect the ladies to.
Okay, start it over again. Do the lady. Come here.
That's not over.
Because I interrupted it, but it was good. But do the start over.
That is funny. I like him. We need to turn the camera one day to see it right here. But ladies, tap in with me. Come here. Villa. Anupale. Y'all, look, I am creating a space for those creators, those movers and shakers, for women who are looking for community, for women who are looking to grow their businesses and to grow their skill sets and their networks. This is a space for you, especially during a time where the creator ecosystem is so disjointed in Miami. I want to create an opportunity for you to connect with other women just like you. Other women just like you who are wanting to iron sharpens iron, women who are wanting to build together, collaborate together so we can move away from certain mindsets that have held us back in Miami. And although Creative Culture Tribe is a growing global brand, this is where we live right now, here and in DC. I don't forget the ladies in DC. If people in DC are going to see this, I also had Creative Culture Tribe in DC as well. So I didn't forget y'all. But tap in October 28th. Look for us, Creative Culture Tribe, on Instagram, thecreativeculturetribe.com. And I'm going to meet y'all on the 28th of October at West Elm South Beach. And I'm going to introduce y'all to Miami's creative visionaries. That's I actually did not even post about that yet. So I guess it's an exclusive. But the conversation is about highlighting Miami's creative visionaries. And it's going to be popping. So I appreciate y'all tapping in. That's what I got. That's my spiel.
Okay. No, she came on here and said a mouthful.
I did.
Information. No, and that's good. Definitely for the community. Definitely vibing. Definitely just expanding, and you doing it before it was cool. Before it was popular.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like girls had
visionary.
Yeah.
Accolades. I feel like my intro wasn't enough now. You know what I'm saying?
You got to re-record that one.
I know, right? But it was good. But Makisha, I thank you for coming on the show. Absolutely. Even how you reached out. If y'all knew how she reached out, Listen, if
I was
you
not playing.
if you don't know her professionalism, you're gonna know it real soon.
Mm-hmm.
And just the vibe, the essence that you bring, everything. Like, just definitely grateful for your presence as somebody who's active in the South Florida market. Don't meet a lot of people like you, especially in the business world. And so it's just always good to see that. But we definitely gonna bring you back on for a part 2.
Thank you.
And just y'all gotta just stay tuned. You know what we saying? And so if people want to follow you, where can they follow you at?
Yes, you can find me at Makisha Noel. That's MakishaNoel.com. Makisha Noel on Instagram. That's MakishaNoel. That's where you can find me. Tap in with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Rue, who was on this podcast too.
Yeah,
and I was like,
Rue.
Oh, okay, I see Rue. I see you. And I was like, I need to reach out to Attractive Mindset too, see what's going on up there.
Nah, facts. And so, it's your host, Moneybag Rich, at Real Moneybag Rich. If you like this episode, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for part 2. Share. And as we always say, we look good, we live good, life is good. Talk to us, we talk back, and we out of here.